G'day folks. It's been a little while, maybe 3 months since my last little video, and I haven't really done anything, to be honest, on the engine or the car or anything. I've been doing a lot of thinking. I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I have been doing a lot of thinking in the last 2 years. Well, I haven't raced it in a bit over 2 years, February, 2 years ago. So the last time I raced it, I didn't really enjoy myself. And I'll be honest, the way the club amalgamated with some other clubs, and it's turned like the weekends there's a lot more cars there. There's multiple clubs, multiple different categories running over 2 days. They call it the Tasmanian, circuit racing. Was it it's Tasmanian Circuit Racing Championship, and it's a big round. And it's all changed since COVID, I'll call it. Since the scam started, everything's changed. Now, I've got to a point where I've had 2 years to think about this. Do I go back racing again to a sport that, I don't know, I don't sort of have that same passion that I had for the sake of running around a track and spending limited time in this car. So I've had 2 years to think about this, and I'm going to inform you guys that I'm going to retire from racing. I'm actually retiring from this car as well. I'm going to, and it's an easy decision. Oh God, it's easy. When I first, 12 months ago, I sort of made a little bit of a decision on it, what I wanted to do. And it's only confirmed it. I thought I'd pull the engine out, and I had all intention of sort of putting it back in and just leaving it and seeing what would transpire. Well, I've made the decision to stop racing altogether, and I'm going to retire the car, but I'm not going to sell it complete. The stuff in the car, all the fuel pump, ignition system, the whole lot is too valuable to me. So I'm going to part it out, and then eventually I'll sell the body as is. I mean, it's got the tags on it. It is a genuine Monaro 4-door. It's genuine Mandarin red, 308 4-speed. So if someone's looking for a Monaro, wants to, I don't know, maybe they've got the rest of the car and the body's buggered. This is a good body. It's not perfect by any means. It's got tiny little bit of rust on the back where they've lipped the guards, but they did a terrible job when they sealed them on the inside, and moisture's got in and it's blistered it. But from what I can tell, the rest of the car, there's no rust in it. It's awesome. So I'll part it out, and I'll eventually move it on, and I'll be left with all this mechanical stuff. And I've got plans, guys. I've got plans, always got plans. I don't want to give up playing with cars. I love it. I absolutely love it. But the racing side of it, and the Monaro itself, I'm over it. I've enjoyed it, really have. I've learnt so much. I'm not a race car driver. It'd be only a matter of time something had happened. So I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. I feel really good about it. And I'm actually going to swap all my running gear and put it in my old HX utility. It's a model after this one. This is a HJ, so this is 75, 76. and the HX Utility, which is a 2-door ute. That's what the Aussies call them. That's a 77, I think. It's a HX, so the model after this one. I'm going to put all the running gear, everything, turbo, the lot. Bar a couple of things, won't be necessary in the ute, but it's only going to be on the street. But basically swap it all over and get my ute going. And I'll be doing all the footage of it through like videos. I've got some big plans for it eventually. I want to paint it, but for now I just want to clean it up and get it on the road. I'll show you, I'll take you for a little tour of it. This is her. I've had this ute, I reckon I was around 25 years of age, and I'm going on 55 years of age this year. So I've had it a while. I've had it a little while. I've used it for work for a few years. It's got it had a little 253 in it. It's got a bloody power steering rack in it, the same as the Monaro. So it's nothing, like it's a clean body too. This one's got, if any, rust in it. It's a beauty. So I'm going to put all the running gear, I'm even going to put the wheels on it. I'm going to lower this thing down, get it dropped down on the ground and run on the street with it. This will be a potent little street machine. I'll eventually, once I sort of get it sorted out, I'll put the diff out of the Monaro. I'll adapt it into the back of this. I don't think the Salisbury 10 bolt are real solid. Single spinner this one, so I'm going to want a full spool in it and some nice gearing, 3.5 gearing with those same tyres or rims that I'm running. The nice 17s on it. So, no, she's a ripper, this thing. I want to redo the seats. These have got, I think they're a HQ seat. I think. Because I think the HQ onwards, the J's and that, they were all a solid part up around here. They didn't have this sort of adjustable headrest. So that's what gave it away with the HQs. But this one's not in bad nick. This is nice. It's got really good carpet in it. There's a nice big floor mat there. Yeah. I can put the Turbo 350 box with that nice shifter in it. I might put a nice little stereo system in it. Get the seats redone. That'd be lovely. Bit of boost. This thing will be absolutely awesome. So that's sort of my plan, guys, for the next probably 12 months it'll take me. I'm in no hurry. There's no rush. I'm going to put the turbo, the fuel tank's just here. There's a heap of room, but it's on the other side. So the turbo will mount up under there. So it'll be sort of a, I don't know, not quite rear. I think a rear mount has got to be from the diff back. That's actually technically a rear mount. I think if it's forward of the diff, it could be a mid mount maybe. Remote mount. I think remote mounts are up underneath here. So we're sort of a mid to rear. It's not really a rear mount, so to speak, but similar to what the Monaro was. Yeah, so this will be my little runabout, because I got the van, but it'll be handy if I need to go to the tip or do anything, little bit of carting some stuff. I can use my little 355 turbocharged ute. Oh, it'll be crazy. It'll be crazy, but that's what it's all about, having fun. And I'll be able to do videos up the mountains in the, just along the roads. I've done a lot more footage of having fun on the road rather than running around on a track. I mean, it's good fun on a track, but you don't get much time out on the track, and at least on the road, I can go for a bit of a cruise and do a nice little run up the mountain, get some boost happening. Now that I've got it all sorted on the track, it should go fairly well on the street. It should be awesome. So I'm excited. It's a good, and I'm back to one car, and I just can't afford to keep on going down the track too. It's quite expensive. You know, you've got registration for your trailer, you've got club membership, as well as your CAMS licence. You know, you're always breaking stuff. I really need a new set of tyres. I mean, they're about 3-4 years old and they're quite hard to get really good grip out of it. So it's a continual thing, and I just don't have the money. I'm on a carer's pension. So now I'm retired. I don't get a lot of money, and doing what I'm doing with this ute just makes sense. It'll be a great little runabout bus, and it won't cost me an arm and a leg every time I want to take it out. I'll keep it on an E85. I'm not going to change it, but it's just a little ute. We just do a bit of tuning, play around with the boost. We learn a bit more about it. Take a video every time I go for a bit of a run with it. And I think a lot more learning will be done that way, and teachings, rather than just going down there and flogging it around a track. And you either break it or you don't. And it seems to be that it's pretty hard on the gear, racing cars. There's no doubt about it, and especially with a little bit of boost. It seems to work on everything a little bit harder. And I don't have the funds to keep it up, or the passion anymore. So, been there, done that. I can scratch that one off the list. Let's get back on the street and have some fun. All right, well, what we're doing next, well, the next video, I'm going to put this engine, because it'll probably be sitting for 6-8 months before I go to put it in the ute, before I sort of get organised for that, and I'd like to get it fired up, at least. I was going to do it on the stand, but I thought, it means I've got to pull everything out of there and hook it up to get this thing going. So what I decided, and it's the easiest thing to do, was to put it back in the Monaro. I won't bolt the transmission up. I'll just put the header pipes on it, hook up all the gauges to it, oil pressure, water temp, carb, fuel and that, spark, which is pretty easy. And I'll just get it running. Then I'll get a couple of heat cycles done on it, make sure everything's hunky-dory in it, and then I can retorque the heads. And then I can wrap it up, and I can keep moving on with this, parting this out. And then in the coming months, over our winter, I can do the swap over and bring my ute in here and start the journey. But I'm going to keep it all up to date, guys. So any action I do on it, I'll do a vid. And I'm going to keep talking on my little truth as well. There's a lot going on, folks. I hope some of you are waking up to what's been going on, especially with the government and the rest of it. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's really starting to unfold now. There's a lot happening. It's incredible. I just hope the truth comes out a little bit more on the old jab. That'd be nice. Some truth on that. And we can start moving forward with that great awakening. There is an awakening happening, but it's not on a mass scale at the moment. It's more of I would have said it's really grown in the last this year has been unbelievable growth. There's a bit of a surge on, but it's not what you'd call a mass awakening. But it soon will be. It's only a matter of time. It's all it is, a bit of time. All right, folks. Well, that's my little update for now. Big change, but it's a good change. And I feel really good it feels really good with me. I think enough's enough. This is, I must admit, my wife never liked me doing it because it always used to take a lot of time. And I didn't decide over my wife. It was my own decision. I just feel that, time to move on and pursue other things. And yeah, it's great. All right, folks. Well, until then, I'll pop one up soon when I sort of get the engine in, which won't be too far away, maybe a week. and I'll do a video of it fired up and we'll go from there. All right, guys. Well, take care. I'll catch you on the next one.